Hello everyone, thank you for watching this video. I want to tell you about humidity and drum. And drums, because natural drum made with using natural skin, which has very big influence of humidity. That's why if humidity is very low, for example 30%, 30-40%, your drum can sound very flat and like a bell, like this one. This drum made for very humid climate, and this drum will sound good in 60, 70 or even 80% humidity. For example, in Japan, Malaysia, New Zealand, for this country will be very good this drum and this type of stretch, very high stretch. In normal, now we have 43% of humidity, and it's almost normal for this flat. It's very dry, sunny, flat, and in winter, when heater is all the time working, air is rather dry, and 40% is normal for this flat. If I don't use special humidity for that. Come on. This drum sound very flat. It's not bad, but not very good, because the sound of drum is very interesting for us. Not only that we can hear by ear, because we hear only sound up than 20 Hertz, from 20 to 20,000 Hertz, and lower than 20 Hertz we do not hear by our ear, but we feel with our body. If you hear once, or even once you hear a sound of drum, you know that vibration of drum is very big, and it's you can feel it by your body. You can feel it in some places, yes, in your body, or maybe in some part of your body, because sound of drum is very specific and usually gives some very interesting influence of our body, on our thoughts and feeling. This drum is rather low. In same 43% humidity. I hope you watch this video on your speakers or good phones, because with good sound, because if you're watching this video on your laptop or phone, maybe you do not hear low sound, low bass of this drum, and differences with first and this you do not hear at all. It's same size, but this drum made for dry climate, and the drum made for wet climate. Drum can sound even lower. For example, this big oval drum sound very, very low. I like the sound the best But if weather is cloudy or rainy, wet humidity in this room became 55, 60, or even 65%, and this drum will do not sound at all. The skin will be not flat. It's will take a lot of humidity and become not flat. That's why sound will not appear, not good even appear. That's why, not that's why, in very dry countries, in a very dry climate, historically people used a small drum with high stretch. For example, in Africa, we use tam-tam or djembe. Perhaps you hear the sound and you know that it is close to this sound, but not to frame drum or shaman drum. In the climate of very wet, for example, Japan, they used big drum with huge wood reel with very low sound. This drum, flat drum, shaman drum, used very small ring, only 6 centimeters. It's near to each. And if we use very thick skin and try to stretch it very well, it's can crash rim of this drum. Frame drum historically used in a middle wet climate in European, Asia, and America. But today we do drum for different climate, because for example, this drum is very good for very wet climate, Japan, Malaysia, New Zealand, and it will sound very good in 60-80%, and it will be a great drum for that climate, but not very good for this climate. If you live near river, near forest, or just near ground on the first floor with in old building, perhaps in your flat, your house can be rather high humidity, even in dry climate. Or for example, your flat in city, and it's rather dry, and your house out of the city, near the city, and near river or near lake, and there rather low, rather high humidity, and your drum will be not good sound there, but good sound in your flat. That's why you need to thinking about it before you buy drum. I say a lot of words about this topic, because it is the most painful side of technical painful side of buying drum, because if you do not know this, you can buy it, use it in your flat very good, and move to another flat in a wet flat, yes, and your drum do not sound good anymore, and you need to heat it all the time when you want to play on it. For example, this is low stretch. Let's say this very high stretch. It's the same size, 18-inch. It's a middle stretch. And this is low stretch. I like the sound the most, but if now is very shiny weather, and if tomorrow will be cloudy and humidity will 55%, this drum will not sound good. I need to dry it, for example, by air heater or heater, or near fire, or to put on air condition to dry air in this room, to play with this drum. But in a cloudy, this drum will sound better, and I will do not need to dry it, because it will sound good in the middle humidity. Before buying drum, if you have very low humidity or very high humidity where you live, where you want to play with the drum, please try to say about this before buying drum. In this case, you will take your drum and you will take a lot of pleasant of playing with it. One more situation is the size of the drum. For example, small drum. I don't do very small drum. For example, 30 centimeters, 30 centimeters. It's like 16-inch. Because it's do not give low vibration like we used to hear from the drum. Perhaps you hear now that not only drum sounded, some object jumped around and dancing with the drum, because so low vibration moved the object in the room. It is the most interesting sound of the drum, which can move to object in a room and in your body. Big drums sound well more. This drum can sound good from 40 to 70% humidity, and for example, small drum have less amplitude, from 45 to 60, for example. And if the drum is bigger, so it will be sound good for you most of the time. One more, if your place, if your climate has some seasons, for example, wet season when a lot of rain and a lot of humidity. For example, I live in Ukraine, and in Ukraine, May and October or November is rather wet, and after begin heating season, it's where humidity will be middle. But before this, in November, when a lot of rain, a lot of cloudy, sound of drums, usually more humidity and sound lower. but in this region we have only 2 wet months, May and November, and the rest of months usually are normal, middle cloudy, and not a lot of rain. If in your region a lot of rain, maybe a whole season of rain, for example, like in India, it can be rainy for 4 months, and it's all the time going rain, and the drum will not sound at all. For you need to thinking about it before buying ready drum. If you buy a drum for order, I'm trying to do drum for your climate, for stretch for your climate. But if you live near water, near river, near forest, in a wet, in a different wet flat, please inform it to me, write it to me, inform it. That's why I can make drum for you better, which will be better for you. Phew, so many words. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you understand why humidity is so important for buying drum, for drum sound, and you need to know it before buying drum. If you have some questions, you can write to me in here under the video, or find me in the social my social page, Vileslav Voron, in Facebook, or page shamandrum.org, Facebook, Instagram, and I will give you more information for your best choice. Thank you for watching this video. Good luck.